Now, you're about to hear from a man who realizes he could have died that day.
Yeah, he's a hero in our coverage who followed the accused killer during his getaway. ABC 15's Steve Cooge is live with his story. Steve, this guy's only 20 years old. Some might consider that young for making such a bold move.
Yeah, it sounds like he was literally dodging bullets trying to help police get to the shooter.
And I had to ask him why, Katie and Steve. Why risk your life? This 20-year-old Oscar Behar told me it was just the right thing to do. Seconds before all this, Oscar was standing in an elevator in this building, shoulder to shoulder with the man who would kill 2 people and soon be shooting at him.
If you were standing next to an armed killer, would you know it? Oscar Behar stepped into an elevator with 70-year-old Arthur Harmon.
We were about to get off, and his finger was still on number 1 shaking. And then when I get off the elevator, I just see him press number 1. I'm like, oh, he probably forgot something, you know? And I get off, I walk out, like 30 seconds, so I was walking down the hall. I hear people screaming, gunshots, glass breaking, and then I peep out and I see the old guy, the same old guy that was in the elevator with us. I see him walking back to that guy that was screaming, and I'm like, oh, he's gonna help him out. But he pulls out a revolver.
Oscar tells me he witnessed Harmon shooting Steve Singer and Mark Hummels. Oscar knew he couldn't let Harmon get away with it, so when he spotted him driving out of the parking lot, he jumped into his own car and tailed him.
I just follow him. He sees me following him, I think. He pulls over the first street heading east, and then he pulls out a rifle and just points it at me. That's when I got scared for my life. I just hit reverse on my car and just rammed into 16th Street into oncoming traffic.
Oscar says Harmon opened fire. Oscar couldn't stop him, but he did get his license plate number and other information that helped police figure out who was responsible.
I don't think that's right, you know. Those guys didn't do nothing to him, and this is just cold-hearted what he did, you know.
Takes a lot of guts to do what he did. Oscar told me Phoenix Mayor Greg Stanton called him up personally to thank him for his bravery. Oscar said he simply wished he could have done more. Steve and Katie.
Yeah, certainly it got police on track very quickly in this case. Thanks so much, Steve.